Welcome to the Prophecy Club. We're going to continue talking about the DVD 2014 to 2021, and I'm going to start off with some good news. Again, I believe that Salvarez, while I haven't met him, I haven't hugged his neck, everything he says sounds to me like he really is hearing from God. So, for example, in this case, let's hope that he is. So let me start with part of the good news. And here's where we're going. Okay, we're talking about some things that we thought were prophesied to have already started. Now, here's the good news. August 17th, Salvarez prophesied that he said the Lord spoke to him and said, quote, Donald Trump's election is a sign that I'm giving you 4 years of grace. Okay, so that may very well mean that everything we thought was going to happen on such a date or this date may very well be that he has added 4 years of grace. And we'll talk about that. But it may be that we can slide everything back 4 years. So some of the things that we were told are already going to happen that didn't happen, and we kind of raised our eyebrow and thought, were they really hearing? Maybe our prayers were heard. Because, as you know, we've got over 700 people on the Fast Track team now that fast and pray every Tuesday evening starting at midnight until Wednesday afternoon at 4 p.m. is what I ask. And we've been asking for a softening of the judgment and a delay. Soften and delay, okay? So Salvarez says his election is a sign that I'm giving you 4 years of grace. He went on to say, if you make good these 4 years, then you will have many more good years to come. If you fail in putting your house in order, and I believe that's what Trump is trying to do right now, and I believe that God is bringing forth a lot of this Uranium One stuff and the whole Russian thing that they were saying that, Trump is colluding with the Russians. Well, in fact, it was the Democrats colluding with the Russians, okay? And that's what the devil does. He points at you saying, you did it, when really it's him that's doing it, okay? Anyway, he said, if you fail in putting your house in order these 4 years, then listen carefully, the great tribulation and great captivity will come. Tell the people to pray for the president very much, because there is a danger for his life and his presidency. If he fails to complete his term, you see, heaven has determined 4 years of grace. It has been apportioned for you. If he does not complete his term, the time of grace is aborted. If the time of grace is aborted, you will go into your captivity. So that fits with everything we know, folks. So hopefully we have an opportunity, we have a chance to be able to delay the judgment coming on America. All right, now, let me back up. One disadvantage in doing the cut chop between this day and that day, unfortunately, is kind of catching up where we are. So I have to do a brief little summary. So Terry Bennett was told, he says by the angel Gabriel, from 2008 to 2015, and he said several things were going to be happening, like the military power in America would be diminished and our wealth would be dropped down. He also has said there's going to be a new currency. Well, we haven't seen a new currency yet, but I believe one is just around the corner. But that's supposed to happen from 2008 to 2015. Now, I made the DVD 2014 to 2021. I remember specifically June 28th of 2015. If we have been given the opportunity to get 4 years more grace, it may very well be that Terry didn't miss a thing. But God has simply allowed a delay to come. Now, that sounds like God, I have to tell you, because the iniquity of the Amorites are not full yet. You remember that scripture. A lot of judgment is not determined like a hard and fast date. You got so many days and then the X arrives and blah, blah, blah. Okay. A lot of judgment from God throughout the Bible is on a sliding scale based upon how much mud you step in. The more mud you get on you, the faster and harder he's going to hit. The slower you can get that sin on you, then we can ask for a softening and a delay. Now, things like these, protesting in the streets, that brings judgment. And it may very well be, if we could look into the Spirit and see what God has done, it may very well be that these 404 hurricanes and these two sets of massive fires that have hit us, it may very well be that this is a result of our fussing and fighting among each other, you see. So anyway, back to Terry. Terry said from 2008 to 2015, and he gave a list of what's going to happen. Then he said from 2014 through 2021, he says, for example, the United States is going to be going through a civil conflict, civil war, then invasion. He says when the checks from the government stop coming to the people, the chaos will ensue. But it may very well be that now, hopefully, that has been delayed. So let's assume that some of the dates we were expecting back when I made this DVD, June 28th of 2015, it may very well be that those dates have been moved back, maybe not a whole 4 years yet. Again, it sounds to me like from what he says, it's something we got to kind of earn, all right? Now, let me jump to, and I'm looking at the actual PowerPoint of the DVD. Oh, I got to tell you. Okay, so I just made this new DVD, Revelations on Revelation, which is very, very, very good, okay? And we're asking a gift of $40 for it. However, this week, well, probably for the next week or so, but the point is, if you'll order that one, Revelations on Revelation, we're going to throw in the 2014 to 2021 DVD free. And you can get that on the website, prophecyclub.com, or you can call us 785-266-1112. But that's only a temporary offer. You got to respond real quick. And understand, Prophecy Club does not continue because we offer DVDs. We continue because of your prayers and your financial gifts. It's your gifts that keep us going, not DVD. Your gifts. All right, now, let's go to the next slide. Headline, 7 good, 7 bad. Talking about 7 good years, 7 bad years. So, Genesis 41:17, the Pharaoh said to Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, or cattle, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in a meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor, very ill-favored, and lean-fleshed, such as I had never seen in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill-favored cattle, or kine, did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning, so I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up, one in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I was told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. God hath showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good kine, or cattle, are 7 good years. And the 7 good years are 7 good years. The 7 good years are 7 good years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and the ill-favored cattle that came up after them are 7 years. And the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there comes 7, this is the point, guys, and I believe this is God speaking to America too. There comes 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. Now you have to understand that God is not interested in making this world comfortable for us. He is interested in building his eternal kingdom. And if he has to send some blasting, he'll send it. If he has to send some financial difficulty, he'll send it. If he has to send an invading army, he'll send it. His heart is to build up his kingdom, to find out who will turn to him and who will not. The interpretation that God seems to be hinting at is, he has given us, America, and i.e. the world, the last 7 years of plenty before the last 7 years of famine or tribulation. And, as I'm about to say here, it appears that on that 7 years, the clock started ticking September 25th, 2014. Huh? What? What are you talking about? Okay. Now, if you get the DVD, I'll show you a picture of a cow. Now, this cow is black all over. Well, I should say black and white all over. It's a black and white spotted cow. But on the face of this cow, it has the most beautiful typewriter 7 right smack dab across between the two ears, coming down right between the eyes, and concluding at the bottom right in the snout of this cow. There was a press release that was released September 25th of 2014. And this 7 that is nicely formed, has no black hairs in it, is totally white. And then around the 7, there's no white hairs. It's all totally black around it, meaning black represents plenty, white is not plenty. Like, for example, one says, well, my books are in the black. What does that mean? That means that you're doing good. If someone says your books are in the red, that means you're not doing good. Well, I'm looking at a picture at Pam and Hap Ray. And these folks also had another cow born to them. And it's born on the same day. Only this cow is totally red with a 7 directly, a white 7 directly on the forehead of the cow. Now, one cow was released to the public and revealed on September 25th, 2014. That was the black cow. However, this red cow was actually born on September 25th, 2014. So both of them were revealed to the public on September 25th of 2014. The black cow was publicized September 25th, 2014. The red cow was literally born September 25th of 2014. So what's so special about that? Well, September 25th of 2014 just happens to be the start of the Shemitah. The Shemitah is a 7-year period. So here's the interpretation. The black and white cow means there's 7 years of plenty, which started September 25th, 2014. The color black may mean that some get blessed, and the white may mean some don't. According to Terry Bennett, the plenty years may be the years 2014 to 2021. The red cow may mean 7 years of famine, i.e. the tribulation, according to Terry Bennett, may be from the years 2022 to 2028. You can't make this up. Okay, you can't fit this together. You can't make two cows, both have a 7, right across their forehead to be revealed to the public on the same day. One is born the day before and publicized September 25th, 2014. The other one is literally born September 25th of 2014. You can't make that up. I saw a fat cow that looked very beautiful grazing on the pastures of the field. But then I began to notice that the beautiful fat cow slowly started losing weight, turning very skinny until it became an ugly skeletal cow. It was so skinny and bony that you could see its ribs sticking out. The times of plenty and abundance of our economy will only last for about 7 years, says Augusto Perez in a vision he had. And he's saying that this is giving way to 7 years of lean times where the economy will be troubled. We'll be right back after this message. We have put the collection of the best of the 2016 DVDs together in an awesome gift offer. First, Miracles in Pakistan. Pastor Masih tells the story of 23,000 Muslims that he led to Jesus in Pakistan. Then in his DVD, Visits to Heaven and Hell, tells about going to heaven once and twice to hell, and it will scare. And then the third one is The Babylonians Are Coming, his 9 dreams that God gave him about judgment on America. Then Bree Keaton talks about explosive prayer strategies, emergency prayers that work. Finally, includes Lindsey Williams' new DVD, Trump Speaks to the Elite, and how Trump changed things and the new plans of the elite. 5 DVDs valued at $168, all available now for a gift of just $75. Helps us stay on radio, okay? That's valued at $168, all for a gift of just $75. Prophecyclub.com, 785-266-1112. Prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. The best of 2016. Order now. And now, back to the program. This is giving way to 7 years of lean times where the economy will be troubled. Now, he's dating at 2008 to 2014. But it may very well be, brothers and sisters, that we may have been given the opportunity to have 4 more years of good times. Now, I have to tell you, if I can delay God's judgment or soften it, I want to, and I believe you want to. I mean, nobody wants to see this trouble that is coming. We don't want to see it come. So, the date of 7 years of plenty started according to the prophecy of the cows. And this is what the cows are saying. I mean, you can't get 2 cows that are revealed to the public on the same day. Both have a 7 on their forehead. One's a black and white cow. One's a red cow. You can't make that up. I've never heard of even a cow being born with a 7 on its face before, much less 2 of them revealed to the public on the same day. Not an accident. I believe the interpretation is that the 7 years of plenty started September 25th of 2014. The date the 7-year tribulation starts, according to I'm not saying this, okay? Please do not say, Stan said the 7-year tribulation is going to start in 2022. Don't say that. I didn't say that. I'm saying the interpretation of 2 cows, one black and white, one red, born with a 7 on their forehead. The interpretation of that is the 7 years of plenty started on September 25th of 2014. Still stand by that. However, can't get too much into date setting with God. And I've cautioned you about this a whole lot. If those people that get into date setting get themselves in trouble because, how do I say this? God's not so much into dates. He is into warning his people. And the way the judgment hits is based upon the amount of sin. And the more mud, more sin we get on us, the sooner the judgment hits and the harder it is. The only reason he sends to hard times is to get people to humble themselves and to realize that they are nothing without him and to help them realize they need Jesus. Now let's go on with what the PowerPoint says. The year the 7-year tribulation ends is 2028, and that's according to Terry Bennett. But no one knows the day and the hour. But these 2 cows do confirm the dates just happen to be given to Terry Bennett. Okay, so now that means we got 3 different things saying Terry Bennett's correct there. Next headline. Is the tribulation 7 years long? I had someone once email me, brother, can you give me book, chapter, and verse where it says the tribulation is 7 years long? And I responded back and I said, the interpretation of these 3 scriptures is exactly what it's saying. First of all, you got to understand that the whole book of Revelation was not written for Daniel's day. It wasn't written for the generation of your fathers. It wasn't written for the generation of our fathers. It's written for this last generation. Now, Daniel 4:14 says, and he cried aloud and said thus, hew down the tree represents Nebuchadnezzar, cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from under his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth. Now, let me interrupt with a question. If you were to cut off a tree at, let's say, 4 foot above ground, or even 2 foot above ground, if you cut off that tree, what happens? 100% of the time, the tree grows back. So the prophecy is saying that Nebuchadnezzar will come back to life. In other words, he's cut down like a stump, meaning he will come back. Let's go on. Even with a band of iron and brass. Iron represents the Romans, brass represents the Greeks. So what he's indirectly saying that he's going to be coming out of Europe, and other scriptures verify that too, as well as other prophecies. In the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven. Let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Here it is. This is the point I get to. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. Now, yes, it is true that Nebuchadnezzar had his heart changed for 7 years, and he ate grass and his nails grew like bird claws. But when it says leave a stump of the roots in the earth, it's saying this prophecy is going to repeat. And the beast that thou sawest was and is not shall ascend out of the bottomless pit and goeth into perdition. And they that dwell on the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life, slain from the foundation of the earth, when they behold the beast that was and is not, and yet is. So this beast comes back to life. I've had people ask me, do you think the Antichrist is alive on the earth right now? I'm going to say, yeah, his flesh might be, but his spirit has not come into this world today. I do not believe the beast, that's talking about the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit, that makes war with the saints, and given permission to overcome them, and all power is given him over all kindreds, tongues, and nations, and all that dwell in the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life, slain from the foundation of the world. So the beast, in terms of his spirit, is not in the earth today, but highly likely the flesh part of him is. Now, you remember in the middle of the tribulation, I saw one of his heads as were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power to the beast, and they worshipped the beast, saying, who's like unto the beast? Who can make war with him? In other words, who can make war with him that comes back to life, you see? All right, let's go on. Timing. Now, here's our first witness. 2 cows were born in America. The black and white one was first publicized on September 25th of 2014. The second red one was born September 25 of 2014, the same day, which just happens to be the 49th Shemitah. These births seem to signal the start of the second set of 7 years, which seems to be the 7 years of plenty. What are the chances 2 cows with a 7 on their forehead would be introduced to America on the same day? Again, you can't make this stuff up. A black cow with a white 7 and a red cow with the white 7 were both introduced to the world, specifically in America, on the same day. An accident or a sign from God? I believe it's a sign from God, but I also believe that Salvarez just may be right when he says the election of Donald Trump may be giving us an opportunity for more time. I mean, that is what we've been asking for. Terry Bennett, June 17th of 2015, also revealed an update. He said he had an angelic visit and was shown that America has been weighed in the balances as a nation. Our time has come. The angel showed him a calendar of 2015 and first marked off January through July. When he came to August through December 2015, he said, it will begin. A shaking of the nations, eruptions of violence and chaos, and the angel said, quote, a cauldron of chaos will be released on our nation. Now that again, see, we got a lot of things saying this whole thing's supposed to start in 2015. It didn't. But all of a sudden now Donald Trump gets elected and he's kicking out the scorpions and snakes, and the people that don't like Trump are pretty much the bad guys. Headline says, welfare stops, riots start. The internal revolution will start when something like the government stops sending out welfare checks. Who said that? Dimitri Duduman. That's not a thus saith the Lord. That was his opinion. The angel Gabriel told Terry Bennett, quote, when the checks from our government stop coming to the people, the chaos will ensue. Then Shane Warren said, quote, the devaluing of our dollar caused major rioting in the streets, looting with signs saying, I want my entitlements, unquote. Mina Greben said the cities will burn. I saw riots in the streets. Neighbors were fighting each other. Terry Bennett said the period from 2015 to 2021 will entail governmental changes. Terry explained what the United States is going to go through is civil conflict, civil war, then invasion. Shane Warren said the devaluing of our dollar caused major rioting in the streets, looting with signs saying, I want my entitlements. Now, the next topic is martial law. Dr. Patricia Green, which, by the way, I plan to have her on next week. Martial law would replace the civil law of the land. The imposition of martial law would mean the suspension of civil rights and civil law would be replaced with military authority. There would be curfews, roadblocks, and checkpoints to maintain order and control. Mina Grebin said she had an angel visit her saying, quote, she asked the angel, will Hillary win the 2016 election? The angel said, the elections will be delayed. There will not be a 2016 election. Obama will remain in the White House. Now, I might add also, Mina, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to attack you here. Mina missed several other things, but a lot of those were dates. And it may very well be that the election of Trump, here, let me just say it this way. I think that Americans got scared enough to start praying, and Christians prayed, and we got Trump, and I think Salvarez is right. I think that God potentially has given us more time. But we got to keep praying, brothers and sisters. You got to keep praying that Trump does not lose his presidency and has continued. Man, I'm going to say, matter of fact, I pray that he gets 8 years and God helps him to kick out the scorpions and snakes, which I believe is all in the process. Glenda Jackson said, quote, if Christians don't start praying, there will be no 2016 election. It will be suspended. Evil will arise and disasters will happen and the president will not be removed. He will stay in, and these things are going to be very bad. Now, did she miss? Well, no more than Salvarez missed when he's saying that the election of Donald Trump is a sign from God that God has allowed us the opportunity. And those are my words, but he didn't exactly say it that way. But allowed us the opportunity to possibly get 4 more years. So, when Glenda says, this was not an angel visit or something like that, she was simply saying that this is what she suspected. May very well be, brothers and sisters, that God has given us an opportunity, but we got to pray it in. So the point today is pray, 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 pray. I recommend you order the new DVD that I just made called Revelations on Revelation Double DVD. Give to $40, and we're going to throw in the DVD 2014 to 2021 free. You get that at prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. You'll get the new DVD, Revelations on Revelation. In my opinion, I think it's probably the best DVD I've ever made. Definitely more revelations, and you do not know these things. Most of the people that were in the audience, they loved it, but I don't think any of them knew this. Man, I didn't know these things. These are 12 new revelations that I don't think anybody had already got the revelation on. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your prayers, and remember, your gifts of support is what keep us going. God bless. Now from the Prophecy Club, some exciting opportunities for you. When a nuclear device is detonated, the wind blows the dust settling on everything around you. Then you breathe, eat, or absorb radioactive iodine, which then kills your thyroid and kills you. A simple fix is to immediately take potassium iodate pills, which flood your thyroid with good iodine, keeping the radioactive iodine out. You need 1 bottle per person per exposure for everyone from infant to adult. 10 bottles available for a gift of $225 or $25 per bottle at prophecyclub.com. Shelf life from 5 to 8 years, potentially more if you refrigerate or freeze it. That's prophecyclub.com, potassium iodate pills. The number 1 killer in most emergency events, surprisingly, is drinking contaminated water. Being able to scoop water out of the puddle and filter it may save your life. I drink all of my water filtered through a Crown Berkey. Now, it's a gravity filter filtering down to virus levels. Contaminated water in the top gives you drinking water out the bottom. It's what the missionaries use. There are 7 Berkey options from 1 to 8 filters. Order them at prophecyclub.com. Be sure and order 2 to 4 extra black filters as backup. That's prophecyclub.com or 785-266-1112. Berkey water filters.